Hello and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. Thank you guys so much, everybody who watched last week's video of me introducing my booktube content to the main channel. You guys, just thank you so much. It's got more views than the art video I put out 2 days later on Wednesday. What was I worried about? Today there are 3 things I'm going to do. Most importantly, at the end, feel free to skip ahead to that timestamp. They will actually be in the description this time, I promise. The most important part is we are going to celebrate Meg LaTorre's The Cyborg Tinkerer, because today, the day it's going out, is the 8-day countdown to when it's released, and I really want to tell you about it. But before we get there, first I'm going to talk a little bit about the upcoming giveaway on the channel, because I've got a bit of a conundrum and I need your opinion on it. Then second, we're going to do a bit of book mail, because I've been trying to put out book content on YouTube for almost half a year now, and I've never done a book mail segment. I need to catch up. Alright, part 1, the giveaway. So if you have been here on the channel for the art content, then you know I have been teasing all year long that when I qualify for the YouTube Partner Program and I can actually get monetized, then I will do a big international giveaway. I have met the 1K subscriber requirement. We did that back in the summer. Thank you guys so much. But I am behind on the watch hours still. We still need to make up a little over 800 watch hours for, you know, the 12-month period, the year. When we get there, the idea is that you will be eligible to enter if you are at least 14, you are a subscriber of the channel, and you live in a country that can receive something mailed from Canada. That's all you need to do to be eligible. And if you win, the prize is supposed to be a set of art supplies and a custom artwork by yours truly. Well, now I've got book content and I may be attracting viewers who are only here for the book content. So what I want to know, should I have an alternate prize for the book viewers? Should I have 2 prizes, award something to the art viewers and something to the book viewers? Or should I save the book prize for a future giveaway? Let me know in the comments down below what would be best. Second, let's go through some book mail. First, I'm going to show you the books that I have been sent to review, and then I'll show you just some books that I have purchased in the last half a year that arrived. They're sitting here. Let's show them off. So, I am on the PR list for a few publishers. Some of them send me physical books, some of them don't. The first company I would like to shout out, the first publisher, is Breakwater Books from right here in Newfoundland. These guys have continued to send me books. The other guys I'm going to show you, they're either waiting for me to request more or they're waiting for me to actually get them the reviews. I'm a little behind. These guys have continued to send me books and I am so thankful. I'm so excited. I feel bad that I don't have all of these reviews out. I do intend to. 5 of them have been featured on the blog already. This one is the newest. So we have Dirty Birds by Morgan Murray. This is a contemporary fiction set in Ontario. I have read the first couple of pages. It sounds great. I would really like to get to this one sooner than I'm gonna be able to. My November is insane for reviews. This one was released this year. Second, we have Bridget Canning, Some People's Children. Some People's Kids is an expression we say here in Newfoundland. And this one I actually have no idea what it's about. I featured it in a First Line Fridays on the blog. I don't remember what it's about. I am interested to check it out. Anthony Berger, No Place for a Woman. This is an interesting concept, possibly going to be a controversial thing. I have no idea what I'm going to rate this one when I get to it. So his mother grew up in a different time here in Newfoundland, and when his mother passed away and he was going through her stuff, he found a whole bunch of letters in envelopes, and it was all bound together. It said, "Burn before reading, please. Like, do not read this." And when I read that bit, I'm like, oh. But actually, apparently this is from a diary that he found after that didn't say any such thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to be mad at this or not, but I'm interested to read it because I'm really into history, so I don't know. Might be mad at it, might not. The Invisibles by James E. Kando or Kandau. This is about the Royal Newfoundland Companies. That would be the military presence that was here when this was a colony and when it was a republic, or tried to be a republic, I should say, and it eventually became our police force, Royal Newfoundland Constabulary. Melt by Heidi Wicks. This is also a brand new fiction novel this year. They were really pushing for this one. I need to read it. And the latest one sent to me, by the way, these papers sticking out of it, my contact at the publisher sends individual letters about the books, tells me what they would like me to know before I read it. This one sounds really interesting. The Hush Sisters, it was just released just before Halloween, and like this arrived just after I finished reading The Year of the Witching, and it kind of has that kind of vibe to it just based on the synopsis, and then the artwork on it kind of has The Vanishing Half vibe to it. So like I want to drop everything and read this, but I won't because I have tour commitments. But yeah. Breakwater Books, thank you for sending me so many. I will get to them, I promise. The second publisher who does send me books is Coach House Press. They are based in Ontario, and they have sent me 3 books. We have Nabin Ruthnam's Curry, Eating, Reading, and Race. So this is a South Asian immigrant to Canada type experience, and it's told through the cultural experience of food. We have Chase Joint and Mike Hoolbloom, You Only Live Twice, Sex, Death, and Transition. So we have somebody who almost died, and we have somebody who is transgender, and they've gotten together to write this book, which is basically YOLO except YOLT. And then we have Andrew Kaufman, The Ticking Heart. I believe that this would be filed as contemporary fiction, but it kind of sounds like magical realism. I'm really hoping it's magical realism. The synopsis really caught me, so I requested this one specifically. And the third publisher who sends me physical copies is The Porcupine's Quill, also based in Ontario. I got to request both of these. I'm hoping that they will surprise me with other books when I have reviewed these for them. First we have Thoughts on Driving to Venus, Christopher Pratt's car books. Not that Christopher Pratt. This is an artist, and he and his wife drove across the island many times back in the 1970s and 80s, and this is his thoughts, the things that he wrote down while he was the passenger, while his wife was driving. And what drew me to this is the perspective of an artist who is Canadian but not from Newfoundland, but driving through and experiencing Newfoundland. And I am a Canadian, I am an artist, and I live in this province now, but I wasn't born here. I came here at the age of 24. So yeah, interesting. And the other one, Sweet Latrie, Jeet Here. So this is basically a memoir from a literary critic, and I thought that this would be an excellent thing to read because that's kind of what I'm doing now. I am critiquing literature. I am writing reviews, putting them out in front of the public eye on my blog, on my channel. I want to know what he knows. Moving on to some books sent directly by the authors. Authors out there, yes, you can do this if you want to. I'm swamped right now with tour reviews on the blog and arcs on NetGalley. I am making it one of my New Year's goals to moderate myself more with what I request so that when other books come up, I actually have time for them. So if you are an author, you're wanting me to review one of your books, and I say in my review policy that I review your kind of book, your genre, your category, feel free to send it to me. I have instructions on my review policy page if you want to kind of force gift it to me through Amazon wishlists. It is possible. That's what this guy did. He got my permission to do it first, but like, you don't even have to if you just want to send it. I make no promises when I'm going to get to it. Really interested in this one. This is Psycho Hose Beast from Outer Space by C.D. Gallant King. First of all, his name caught my attention, Gallant with a T, because my maiden name is Galland with a D, and it's hyphenated with King, which is one of my maternal grandmother's family names. That caught my attention. Second, it's absolutely a ridiculous title, and it's set in Newfoundland. It's set in a fictional town that is based on the town he actually grew up in, and I can't wait to find out what the Psycho Hose Beast is, and I can't wait to find out why there's a bayman floating in the bay. The other two books on this pile, this is a tour I am reading for in mid-December. This is the first two books of the Fifth Mage War by Laura Engelhardt. Sirens Unbound was published last year, and she signed this one and sent me a little note, which is very nice. And then art copy, my very first print arc, Mages Unbound, the sequel. This one was published this month, or is publishing this month, I'm not sure on the exact date, in November. Says November 2020 on the copyright page. Look for the reviews of these in mid-December when I am scheduled to review them for the blog tour. Let's blast through the books that I have purchased for myself in the last 6 months that have also been sitting down here on top of the printer. Jessica Townsend, Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow. One of my art channel friends here, you may know her as Darkest Raven Designs. I call her by her first name, Chantal. She recommended this one to me when everything was happening with Rolling and everybody was kind of deciding where they stood on whether or not they were going to continue to read the Harry Potter series. This was recommended as a great equivalent replacement. Apparently this is particularly popular down in Australia, where she's from, and I had it on my wish list forever, and then I noticed it's $4.99 Canadian. That's super cheap. This is not a sticker I've left. This is printed right into the cover, kind of annoying. Cinder, Marissa Meyer. I have been wanting to get into this series forever. I love the new covers, and I needed to meet a free shipping threshold. The Savior Sister by Jenna Moreci. I have all 3 novels on my bookshelf now. There are other ones down here. Yes, if I am on your street team, I will still actually buy your book. I'm not just gonna read the arc and run. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars, Christopher Paolini. I got to review the audio arc on NetGalley, but it's such a great story. Reading with your eyes is a different experience, and it's so beautiful. I needed this on my shelf, so I splurged, and this is what I needed to add the other one to meet the shipping requirement. And Kevin Hearn, Ink and Sigil. I thought I was done reading Kevin Hearn when he ended the Iron Druid Chronicles. He went off and wrote something else, and it seemed like it was going to be a long series. It ended up being a duology, and now he's done with it. This is a new series he's starting in the same world as Iron Druid Chronicles. New characters, same world, same magic system, same premise. I am so excited for this. It came out in August. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Alright, welcome to the third and most important part of this video. We are going to talk about Cyborg Tinkerer by Meg LaTorre. This is the second book that I've been on a street team for this year, and this is the debut novel for Meg LaTorre of iWriterly. That is a blog and a YouTube channel here, and great channel. Go check her out. I will have all the information you need to know about the Cyborg Tinkerer in the description box down below. She does have a giveaway going on. You can still enter. She may still be looking for ARC readers, I'm not sure, but you should definitely order the book if this at all interests you. Help her get that release week boost. All of the pre-orders do count in release week, which is so important. So what I'm going to do is I am going to read the review I published a couple of months ago when she asked us all to read it. And then I'm going to kind of react to my own review, talk about how I feel about the book now that it's been a couple months since I read it. 5 stars. Can I read book 2 now? Disclaimer. I was given access to an arc of the Cyborg Tinkerer in exchange for an honest review by the author. Thank you, Meg, for this opportunity. This book has it all. It's science fiction, it's steampunk, it's action, thriller, and romance. It has cyborgs, dragons, circus performers, and criminals on the run. It also features the most well-written love triangle I've encountered in many years, and it's a sensitively written LGBTQ+ triangle to boot. Which team will you be on? Team Aurora or Team Bastion? I'm totally Team Bastion. The decisions Meg made regarding technology in this very steampunk universe like how digital technology exists, but it's not common or cheap, remind me of Treasure Planet in all the best ways. The aesthetic in Treasure Planet is what made me love steampunk, so reading Meg's world was a real treat in that sense. Don't worry though, this is not a rehash of Treasure Island. This is an illegal traveling circus of cyborgs gone horribly wrong. This novel features 2 points of view, Gwen's and Rora's, and this is handled very well. Points of view only change at the start of new chapters, and the inner voices of these characters have been made quite distinct. I always knew which head we were in right away, even when the character's name wasn't immediately mentioned. The timing of POV switches was handled very well too. At no point was I completely surprised by a point of view change, nor did I ever wish we were still in the other point of view. I'm torn between commending Meg for sticking to just 2 points of view and not overwhelming us, but also hoping that we get a third in the next book so we can get into Bastion's head. I think that we can handle it at this point, and I'm confident that Meg would do it well. Gwen, our sassy and sarcastic main character, is a former ship tinkerer who has months to live thanks to a tumor growing in her skull. Cirque du Bourg offers her a second chance at life as the Cyborg Tinkerer, but is the price too steep? The full extent of the job is certainly not what she expected. Rora, an acrobat, is completely consumed by her desire to prove herself as a performer and win the Emperor's patronage. To perform her best, she needs the help of the Tinkerer. Seduction time, what could go wrong? Bastion, the ringleader, is a hard, haunted man who lives and breathes the circus. He's responsible for Gwen's recruitment, but he isn't forthcoming with her about what's in store. Most of the planets and ships named in the book are identified as such, ship or planet, in the same paragraph they're first mentioned, but if you're ever confused about this, there is a handy glossary at the end of the book. Although we do meet some of the other performers, most of the attention is on the main trio and the Mistress of the Circus, Celeste. Friendly supporting characters Marzana and Accio are charming, and overgrown bullies Aberkin and Thaniel are very well layered and effectively written. I feel obliged to mention at this point that whenever I read the name Accio, I was thinking of the spell Accio, and I was hoping that he'd catch something in a really unlikely way. Nope, just me. Trigger warnings: there is violence, death, a lot of lust, polygamy, some very steamy sex scenes, mentions of self-harm, and a character with an eating disorder. A cat's trying to get in. So at this point, I'm going to react to that review and talk about what really has still stuck with me several months after writing that. When did I write that? What's the date? So I posted that to my blog and to the other channel on August 12th, and I believe we read that 2 weeks before. So yes, the trio is definitely one of the things that stayed in my mind. I do really like our main character Gwen. I'm looking over here because I've got a print of her on my wall now. I won it in one of our promo games. I'm not going to take it down because I don't want to wreck it. I'll put it up here. I do really like Gwen. I think she's a really interesting, well-written, layered main character. I like that she's damaged, but she's not letting it define her. She's a very strong woman. She's very sure of herself. With that said, I don't think she was my favorite character. I really, really liked Bastion. Rora, as I mentioned in the review, she is one of the acrobat performers in the circus, and she has ulterior motives through most of it. And if you've been following my blog, if you've been following the other channel, you will know from tag videos I've done, from tag posts I've done, that one of my absolute favorite tropes in literature, particularly in romance, is the fake to real turn. Rora is so set up for that, so you'd think she would be my favorite because she's the ulterior motives, let's seduce the Tinkerer so the Tinkerer can do some illegal things to help me type deal. I don't want to say too much, I don't want to ruin the plot at all. So you'd think she would be my favorite character because I love that trope and she's setting up that trope. But there's Bastion. Bastion's the ringleader, and he's very closed off, very walled off. He cares very deeply about his family at the circus, but he knows that in order to protect his family at the circus, he needs to make sure that the circus performs well. So he's a very effective, very strict ringleader, and not everybody likes him. Quite frankly, Gwen is warned about him, and people make excuses for him, and somehow she still always ends up finding herself with him and in situations where she's got to deal with him. And there's a bit of a bad boy thing here. I don't want to say too much about his character, I don't want to spoil stuff. There's an interesting thing that happens with these cyborgs where a side effect of having a cyborg implant is that you start to forget the memories that you formed before you became a cyborg. Some people just accepted this, some people this is what they wanted, it's okay, some people find it quite disconcerting. Gwen finds it very disconcerting. Bastion would rather forget. It's an interesting character trait to have. Without saying too much, some cyborgs forget at different rates. Expand on that as you will. One of the critiques I would have for this book is the fact that we didn't get a whole lot from characters besides that trio and Celeste. Like Marzana and Akio, when they're in the scene, they are very charming. They are helpful at times, but like, they're not developed as characters. Gwen and Rora and Bastion, they have arcs. Akio and Marzana don't have arcs. They just exist there and sometimes step in to help. They're clearly Rora's friends from before the book times, but that's about it. That's as far as that goes. I wanted more from them. I wanted more of that. I also wanted more scenes that just described how the circus happens, described the acts. I wanted Gwen to watch some performances while she's learning how to be the Tinkerer. Also, one very minor spoilery thing, there will be a point where the characters need to take on new names. I forget what Bastion and Gwen decided to call each other. They named each other. Somebody names Rora Aurora, because Rora comes from Aurora, so it's perfect, but nobody will guess that one. That is immediately what I thought when she was introduced and called Rora. I thought Rora was short for Aurora. Minor critique there, minor critique. I love the name, I love the character, but everybody's gonna get that one. So when those of us in the street team were asked to read the E-arc from the beginning, so many people just started chiming off in the Discord chat, like, oh my god, I got to the part with dragons. You didn't say there would be dragons. Can we say dragons? Is that a spoiler? Can we talk about dragons in the review? Like, the people need to know this book has dragons. And yes, this book has dragons. The dragons are it's an interesting view of what dragons would be, a very interesting imagining of dragons. And yes, there is a dragon that is important to the plot and comes back a couple times, but no, 3-4 months out, that's not what I'm still thinking about. Like, yeah, I remember the book has dragon and the dragon is very important at parts. 3-4 months out, I'm not going like, oh, this is the cool steampunk book with the dragon. I'm going, this is the awesome science fantasy steampunk. And by the way, yeah, it does have a dragon, but it's also this awesome steampunk world, and it's cyborgs, and it's a circus, and there's LGBTQIA representation, and the best love triangle I've read in a very long time. And oh, by the way, it has dragons. Cyborg Tinkerer comes out on the 17th, 8 days from the day this video goes live. You should really check it out. All the links you need are in the description box down below. Which team do you think you'd be on before reading it? Team Rora or Team Bastion? Anyway, I think this video is long enough. Thank you so much for watching. If you're looking for more to watch right now, I've got some videos up right here on the left side of the screen. Don't forget to like, comment, maybe even subscribe. And if you like living life creatively, whatever that means to you, I'd love to have you along for the ride. Bye, guys!